Black Lives Matter, Police Lives Matter, and you have other groups out there that's saying that, oh, well, your life matters. Okay. Um, Sorry if I'm, you know, kind of out of it, but I'm gonna try to make as much sense as possible. But of course, Black Lives Matter, and of course, police lives matter. Well, blue lives matter. I can't think of one person that said that your lives doesn't matter to begin with. I mean, if that's the case, you might as well say Christians' lives matter, uh, white lives matter, firefighters' lives matter. And the thing is, I've never seen either group, Black Lives Matter and Police Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter, whatever you want to call it. I never see one of those two groups in support for, let's say the shooting that happened in Tennessee last year. I didn't see either group saying military lives matters. Whenever a firefighter dies on the line of duty, I've never seen those groups saying either one of those groups saying firefighters' lives matter. But in turn, you know, Blue Lives Matter kind of makes it out to be a joke and says cops, even firefighters, needs heroes. First of all, don't even call yourself heroes. Let me tell you something. A real person of the military, a real cop, a real firefighter will never consider him or herself as a hero. They're not in it for the glory and all the other bull crap that they want to be, have the spotlight on them. That's not the way it goes. If you happen to be a cop and all that kind of stuff, and and you watch this, maybe either one or two things is going to happen. You might agree with me, or you may disagree with me. Now the thing is, like, why I'm actually, sharing this to all of you, whoever's viewing this, watching this. I've gone on the Facebook of Black Lives Matter's Facebook, Blue Lives Matter's Facebook. I shared my opinion. And you know what? Maybe it was biased, but it's true. Now, Black Lives Matter. Again, I'm not saying that your lives don't matter. I don't condone anybody to be killed in the first place. I think murder is wrong. Of course, that's just common sense right there. But let's just allow me to be real with you. Alright? If Black Lives Matter so much, then why do you tolerate black on black crimes? Or black on black murders? And to be quite honest, some of you guys and girls in the African American community are just as racist as a few bad apples in the Caucasian community or Asian community. Some, again, I'm saying some. I'm not going to make a generalization. I mean, that's just the fact of the matter is. And you may say, well, give me an example, give me proof. All right. Why is it not okay for a white person to call a black person the N-word, but yet it's okay and you expect the white people to take what you say by calling us a cracker? Me personally, I'm not a big fan of double standards, but if you say that we're racist against you guys, that's totally not true, because you're just as racist. Well, actually, there's some bad apples who are white. A few bad apples. Yeah, there's a few bad apples in the police departments too. But let's just be real here. And no, I'm not going to say that a few bad apples spoils the bunch. To be quite honest, if that were the case, every person, every profession, race, religion, so on, would be viewed as, in a generalization way, that we're all a bunch of hypocrites, we're guilty of this, we're guilty of that. Now, me personally, I like to call out the hypocrisy and the double standards and all the other stuff. Now, Blue Lives Matter. In turn, you made your own group. You can make your own group and all that other stuff. I'm not stating that you shouldn't or you don't have the right to. But allow me to be honest with you. Like I said, there's a few bad apples in the police department. And some of you in the Blue Lives Matter Facebook are saying, oh yeah, we're acting like there's no bad cops out there. Okay, if you act like that there's no bad cops, then you might as well just get rid of the whole Blue Lives Matter. Same thing with Black Lives Matter. I mean, I'm not stating that there's no such thing as racism in the world or sexism. Of course, sexism and racism still exist. And some of you in the Blue Lives Matter community, especially Sheriff David Clarke, are saying that police brutality doesn't exist anymore. Bullcrap. I call it bullcrap. But some of you act like that, when you actually try to agree with somebody, that of course there's a few bad apples in the profession. It's just, okay, then some of you in the Black Lives Matter are cops, right? And you finally say that there's a few bad apples in the police departments. Then do something about it. Why don't you do something about it? There's a saying, good men do nothing when evil flourishes. Meaning, if you don't do nothing in the face of evil, then evil's going to flourish. It's going to continue. And I could go on by saying that, calling out Blue Lives Matter's hypocrisy, when a man or a woman walks down the street with a gun or something like of that ilk, whatever, walks down the street with a firearm on his side or her side, or has an AR-15 behind his or her back, and what happens? The public calls the police. Then, in a way, I'm sorry, but some of you police officers do harass the person open carrying. And to be quite honest with you, if you're going to go ahead and say that the person's looking for attention, looking for, confrontation, well, why say that? Because you're just as much as a, hypocrite yourself. You're open carrying a firearm. Does that mean that you're looking for attention? I met quite a few cops that are very, very, very arrogant. And are very, who expect the world to owe them a great deal. And seeing on the Facebook of Blue Lives Matter, or, articles of Blue Lives Matter, the glorification of the whole group and all that. Same thing for Black Lives Matter. But Blue Lives, I know I've said some, biased things about the military before. But now I absolutely respect the military. But when you make you make some kind of comparison like you guys do all the time with the whole cops, even firefighters needs heroes. You guys did the same thing with the military. A lot of you in the Blue Lives Matters apparently is shifting your attention from the military to the cops. Why? I don't know why. Because maybe it's the fact that you think that there's a war on cops. Funny thing, because 2015 was the safest year for cops. Look it up. Just look up the article saying that there's no war on cops. I believe that, just going to go out on a limb here, Black Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter, I believe your views are wrong. I believe Black Lives Matter's view of pure dominance over the white man or white woman. I believe you're wrong. Blue Lives Matter, I believe you're wrong for, glorification of cops and all that, and you expect me to be basically, sit back and not say anything. Of course I'm going to say anything. I'm going to say something. I believe both groups have their own separate agendas. I believe that they, try to push people and demand people to join them in their own agendas. There's absolutely no war on cops. Yes, I know the media makes things worse than it already is. But the thing is, you're just as guilty of believing the media than anybody else, including myself. See, this is what I'm trying to say in my videos. When I do these videos like this, think for yourself. Don't have somebody tell you, "Oh, you need to join Blue Lives Matter. Oh, you need to join Black Lives Matter." No, you think for yourself. You march to the beat of your own. You march to the beat of your own drum, and you just go about your business. And if you have to be an asshole, just be an asshole. It's that simple. If you want to be that person who's going to be the in-between kind of person, do so. I'm that. I'm in between when it comes to Black Lives Matter and Blue Lives Matter. Does some people think my views are indifferent, point of views and opinions are indifferent? Yes. But I'm simply calling out the hypocrisy, and to be quite honest, Black Lives Matter and Blue Lives Matter, what do they do when they don't get their own way? They throw a tantrum and somebody has an opposing opinion that's respectable and civil. What does Blue Lives Matter and Black Lives Matter do? Block the person entirely, shun them, and pretty much take away their First Amendment right. Funny thing, because some police officers do that with the Second Amendment when people open carry guns. Law-abiding citizens carry guns. They do that with them. Now, going back to what I said in the Sheriff Clark video, that police officers are public servants. You have to understand that the public, doesn't matter if he or she is white, black, Japanese, Chinese descent, whatever, act professional. Don't go out your own way and act like you're some kind of glory hound with a machismo attitude, thinking that you're better than anybody else. Same thing for the Black Lives Matter. Some of you think that you're better than everybody else. Cops, you need to act professional. It's a funny thing because, yes, I'm going to just go ahead and say it. Alright. Somebody approaches a cop with any kind of weapon. Yes, the cop has more than the right to defend him or herself. Now, if it's anything else, I think everybody is actually entitled to defend themselves. I mean, it's bad enough that we have so much, that this country's already divided enough than it already is. I mean, Blue Lives, I'm just saying, in Black Lives, what were you guys when a firefighter dies on the line of duty? Where were you guys? Nowhere to be found. The Chattanooga shooting. Where were you guys saying military's lives matter? I mean, the both groups use the tit for tat argument. It's this whole thing that you're either with us or you're against us. I don't believe that. I don't believe that crap. You can still go on about your life and don't have a care in the world what other people say or do. Because really, I mean, even though I'm sharing my opinion, but the fact of the matter is that really opinions don't really matter. So, I'm sorry that I can't get on board with Black Lives Matter and Blue Lives Matter. It's just I don't like this whole thing that you demand people to support these separate groups. Like somebody in the Blue Lives Matter says, I demand you to support Blue Lives Matter. Listen, if you choose on your own accord that you want to support Blue Lives Matter or Black Lives Matter, go right ahead. I'm going to tell you right now, Blue Lives Matter and Black Lives Matter is a bunch of children acting like a bunch of little glory hounds, thinking that they're entitled to this, entitled to that, think they deserve respect and all that due to their race or profession. I mean, no offense, Blue Lives Matter, but when you actually compare yourself to the military, nah, not cool. I mean, let's just be honest. I think people like firefighters more than they like cops, so that's just the fact. Or probably love firefighters more than they love cops. But to the Black Lives Matter, stop being hypocrites. Same thing for Blue Lives Matter. Stop demanding people to support them, to support your causes and all that kind of stuff. And you know, I mean, if you actually, really, I think Blue Lives Matter and Black Lives Matter needs to talk amongst themselves instead of within, and talk with amongst themselves and just get this over with. All this started because of Trayvon Martin. You know something? I proudly support the Second Amendment, which means you have the right to own and bear arms, which is a birthright. Of course, if you're not a felon, if you don't have a mental illness and you're not a felon, then you're good to own a firearm. If you have a mental illness and you've been in the hospital and you're a felon, the law dictates that you can't own a gun. It's simple. Now, I understand that there's some kind of Blue Lives Matter likes to act like there's some kind of tough guys and all that kind of stuff. Bullcrap. Same thing for Black Lives Matter. You're nothing but a bunch of little kids acting like a little bunch of brigands. Educate yourselves about 2015. There is no such thing as a war on cops, and there is no such thing as a war on blacks. Get that through your heads. Yes, I understand that there's police brutality in the world, and same thing for sexism and racism. I understand that. I'm not saying that there's no such thing as racism and sexism or even police brutality. If I said that, then really I look like an idiot. Don't sit there and say that, oh well, I'm black and I'm a cop and I'm being mistreated. Well, to be fair, if you didn't stop breaking the law, maybe you wouldn't be treated as such. And maybe if you actually, this is the cop, I'm saying to the cop, if you didn't come up to somebody with a, cocky attitude, act like you're some, you know, tough guy, macho, machismo, arrogant, egotistical kind of cop, thinking that the world owes you a great deal of respect because, one, you put your life on the line and you expect to be treated like some kind of king, and you want to be worshipped as a god. Bullcrap, that's not going to happen either. Maybe if you didn't come at somebody with an attitude. And to be quite fair, I mean, this is just me, but if a cop comes up to somebody and says, "I don't know, you could be some kind of felon. I want to see if check your ID." Again, you're walking down the street with an AR-15, or you were called by the public for some reason, and some cop is going to stop you and says, "I don't know if you can be some kind of felon." Well, to be quite honest, that person doesn't know if you could be that you are a real cop or a fake cop. Hell, he or she doesn't even know you could be a terrorist. You could be. Oh well. That's just my opinion. Again, opinions don't matter. And some judging by the past that I made videos, someone's gonna get all butt hurt. I mean, something. It just, oh well. Either one. I think Blue Lives Matter and Black Lives Matter. You going about your causes. Again, you're just showing your true colors. That, oh, what's in it for me, or what about me mentality. You act. Some of you guys in those groups act like you had the worst time in your lives because of your profession and your race. You expect to be treated like kings and expect everybody to cater to your wishes or demands. I'm not going to cater to your wishes and demands. And if I remember correctly, it was the Irish who were treated way worse than the blacks. Way back when, 1800s. So either one, some people may agree with me, some people may not agree with me, some people will feel indifferent about it, or some of them may feel in between about the subject. But my opinion of Black Lives Matter and Blue Lives Matter, I think you guys have, like I said, have your own agendas that you try to push down people's throats. You guys do nothing but you guys are not trying to diffuse the situation at all. You guys demand other people to join your causes, and you go and you dare say that you're either against us, you're either with us or you're against us. No, 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 no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I mean, yes, there's bad cops, and there's some bad cops and all that. To the good cops, just do what you do. Continue doing what you're doing. Do your job, and just don't be that type of cop who expects to be treated like a king or a queen. And some people who disagree with Black Lives Matter, I commend you. I like I said, I commend you, and I agree with you. You know, and those who are indifferent about this subject, you know what? That's cool too. I agree with you guys too as well. But don't say there's a war on blacks, there's a war on cops. Nah. Mm-mm. Need I remind you, Black Lives Matter and Blue Lives Matter, ISIS is in the United States. They're the real problem, not our own. You're so convinced that you're so preoccupied about trying to get through Black Lives Matter or Blue Lives Matter, but the real problem is there's terrorists in the United States. And you guys are sitting here acting like a bunch of little kids. Boo hoo, boo hoo. You're so blind to the real problem. Do something about the ISIS, about the terrorists. Do something about it. I guess that's asking too much, even for Blue Lives Matter and Black Lives Matter, but oh well. Yeah, that's my opinion about Black Lives Matter and Blue Lives Matter. I don't agree with both. I believe, like I said, I believe that they're wrong. I believe that their views and opinions are wrong. That's just me. I like to look at the big picture. Not one side of the picture. That's just not me. Anyways, thanks guys.